So let's start with a butterfly pose. So we're going to start with the knees out like a butterfly. And we'll give ourselves a moment to sort of lean forward into the butterfly. We might need to move our legs up and down a few times. Maybe you need to go over this butterfly leg. Or go sideways over your butterfly leg. That feels kind of good. Roll a little bit towards the front and a little bit towards the back and see what happens. And then come back to the front and take a moment and just fold over your legs. Can you smell your own feet? If you could, would you want to? Maybe not. Let's take it the other direction. So we'll start by just leaning over this other butterfly wing, and then we'll take ourselves into a side bend. Roll it a little bit to the back, roll it a little bit to the front. Give it a good stretch. And then we'll come all the way up. Okay, we're going to do a little washing machine. So you're going to move your torso like you're washing some clothes. Are you a gentle cycle, or are you a load of towels? Okay, you're going to pick a side. 1, 2, pick a side. And then put your hands down and sit up nice and tall. Now you can bring the knee that you twisted towards. So if you turn to your right, you'll bring your right knee up. If you turn to your left, you'll bring your left knee up. So whichever one is yours. And then sit up tall and see if you can see all the way behind you like an owl. Is there an owl back there? Sometimes. So one more big breath, sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to come back and be a washing machine again. Can you feel how your back wants to go that direction more than the other direction? It's one of the things that's kind of interesting about twists. So let's see if we can come to a place where it feels like it's almost the same. One more. And then you're going to turn the other direction, bring that knee up. And we'll pause for a moment and see, can I see behind me? One more breath. And then we'll let go and come around, and one more time. We're going to do a little washing machine. Now, we're going to come up to all fours so that we make like a tabletop, or, so we've got our hands pretty close to under our shoulders, our knees pretty close to under the hips. And then we're going to round the back up like a cat on Halloween. See how tall you can round your back, curl your tailbone in. And then we're going to let ourselves kind of drop the rib cage and the belly a little bit toward the floor. And lift the tail and lift the shoulders back a little. And then do that a few more times. So we're going to round the back, curl it in. Can you pull your belly button in tighter? And then let yourself drop a little bit, pull the shoulder blades down the back, lift the tailbone. A couple more like that. Does that feel good in your back? Should there be like a little bit of extra movement? And then round up one more time. And come back to this first movement. Okay. So now we're going to take one leg out and one arm out. We're going to stretch between those 2 points. Reaching out nice and long. Can you stretch a little bit longer? One more time. Is it wobbly when you do that at your house? Bring your leg and arm down when you're ready. Then we'll do the other leg and the other arm. We're going to stretch into those 2 points. Reach nice and long. maybe a little bit longer. Oh, stretch out, stretch one more, and then we're gonna bring them down. Okay, was it wobblier on one side than the other, or were both sides the same? So now we're gonna take our toes and tuck them under, and we're gonna lift into downward facing dog. And maybe you feel like downward dog is your favorite pose. Maybe it's not your favorite pose. Walk your feet up and down, and try to, feel your legs stretch nice and big. And then we're gonna walk our feet in a little bit, and stretch, and walk our feet in a little bit, and stretch, and then we're gonna walk our hands in a little bit, and we might already be on our feet, or maybe we have to do one more time, and then we're hanging upside down. So we're gonna shake out our head, and shake out our arms, and shake out our head, and shake out our arms, and then we're gonna come up halfway so it feels like our back is flat, like that tabletop again. Then we're gonna bend our knees and get really deep in that forward bend, and then come up halfway and feel that tabletop again, and then bend your knees and get really deep into your forward bend. And then one more time, we're going to come to the tabletop, and then we're going to come all the way up to standing. When we get here, we're going to stretch really big. Reach through the fingers, press down into your feet. Now you're going to grab one wrist, and we're going to stretch like a moon, like a crescent over to one side. Maybe we look more like a banana. Stretch. And then we're going to come back to the middle, stretch again down the center. Does that side feel taller? Grab your wrist, give yourself a stretch the other direction. Sort of coming back to some shapes we did on the floor. Come back. Do you feel taller on both sides? And then bring your arms down, and we're going to make big circles with the shoulders. One more that direction. And then we're going to go the other direction with our shoulder circles. I got to tilt you guys up a little bit. Hold on. Whoop. So you'll be able to see. Okay, there we go. Circle your shoulders. Okay, so we're going to shake one leg. Sometimes it's hard to stand up and shake a leg at the same time, so we're going to see if we can try. Stabilize a little bit by hugging in, and then shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg. Do you know that that's a sound for, or a saying for getting going? Shake a leg means get it together, get yourself going. I could have used that this morning. So we're going to hug in, we're going to take the other leg off the floor, and we're going to shake a leg. Shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg. One more time. There we go. Create that stability. All right, both legs. Maybe not at the same time. Alrighty, so we're going to go on a journey. And if we were going to go on a journey, we would need some way to how to get there, right? So we could take a walk. And if we took a walk, like how far would we get? We might walk around our neighborhood. And in our neighborhood, we might see some things like maybe we might see a tree in our neighborhood. So we could become a tree. And sometimes when we become a tree, we sort of collapse out to the side, right? But instead, we're going to become a tree and try to get really tall. So we're going to get as tall as we can as a tree. What kind of tree is it? The first tree I see every day is a pine tree. It likes to leave big pine cones on my sidewalk. And then let's take our walk again. It feels good to walk. And then there might be another tree in our neighborhood, so we can do the other side. So you might put your foot higher up your leg or lower, and then we're going to get really tall and grow some big branches. And usually the second tree I see in my neighborhood is a magnolia tree. They have big white flowers in the summertime. What tree do you see? Nice big breath. And then we'll come back and take our little walk again. Now, sometimes when I go on a journey, I don't walk because I want to go a little farther. So maybe I get in the car, right? So I might open the car door and get in and then sit down in the car and go for a journey that way. So I might drive my car somewhere. Now, where would you drive? You could drive to the park. That's a good place. At the park, you might find some things that, like, maybe there's a swing set at the park. And swing sets have big triangle legs, right? So they start at the top and they go down, and then the bar goes out and there's swings hanging from the bar. But we could just be the triangle. And then there's another triangle we could try. We could try triangle pose. And then we're like that swing set at the park. Maybe we have a swing set in our backyard. We don't even have to drive. Go into a triangle on the other side. That's kind of fun. Oh. So then where else could we go if we went in a car? So if we got in our car and we drove, we could go, we could go to the beach. Maybe we could go to the beach if we got in our car and drove. Beach isn't that far away for us. So if we went to the beach, we might want to go surfing. So we would get up on our surfboard. So let's get down. And we got to paddle our board out. Oh, paddle it. Paddle it. You probably can't see me. But paddle your board. And then we're going to jump up on our board when we catch the wave. Okay, so we've caught a wave. And then we might be able to stand all the way up on our surfboard and surf a wave. The waves are big, or maybe the waves are small. Depends on the beach. So we might have to hang 10 and let some of our little digits hang off into the water. Ooh. And then we might be able to switch. Most people surf one direction, but we are surfing in our imagination, which means we can go both ways. So we might come back, and we might be able to lean out over our surfboard and hang our fingertips in the water. And then we might come back and ride our surfboard right onto the shore. So if we got to the shore, what else could we do? We could certainly mimic the waves that come at the beach, right? So if we took our little wide stance so that we've got a little bit of movement, we could pretend to be a wave and go up and down. And maybe we go big wave and then down, and a big wave and then down, and a big wave. And then maybe when we're down here, we just look out at the ocean, because our legs are like the horizon line that meets the sky. And then we could, if we were feeling it, we could look at the ocean upside down. So if we were looking at the ocean upside down, would the sky be up or down? I think the sky would be up normally, but when I look at it upside down, suddenly the sky is down and the ocean is up. That's one of the fun reasons to look upside down. Come back to our horizon line, and then we're going to come back to being a wave. Being a wave. Being a wave. Now, let's take a little moment and think, what are some other ways we could travel? We could take an airplane. And if we took an airplane, we would have to become the airplane. So we would have to stabilize. Sometimes airplanes might get unstable and crash. I hope not. But our airplane could crash. So let's try being an airplane. And if we got on an airplane, there's lots of places we could go. So where would you go if you were on an airplane? Let's try the airplane on the other side so that we're balancing our airplane. Maybe you're a jet airplane and your arms are back a little bit. Oh. Now, can we take an airplane to the moon? Do you think we could do that? Probably have to be a spaceship, wouldn't it? So we could be a spaceship and get really tall and pointy, and then we could take our really tall, pointy spaceship and blast off and come to the moon pose. Moon pose is another pose that's hard to balance. But we're supposed to look like the moon. Do we look like the moon? Maybe we have to curl our leg in so we look like a moon. And then we could take our spaceship back up nice and tall, blast off to the moon, and try being a moon on the other side. Oh. Sometimes moons are wobbly. Maybe that's why they have eclipse. Oh. How'd your moon go? Were you a wobbly moon? Did your moon fall down? Sometimes that happens. All right, let's give this one a shake. Let's give this guy a shake. Let's give our whole body a shake. Oh. Oh. And then we're going to come down to the floor and we're going to imagine that we took a trip to see some animals, and we'll do a few animals. So let's pretend that we took our airplane to the zoo and our zoo has a bear. Have you ever seen a bear at the zoo? Well, bears have a favorite pose. So first you got to grab your bottom paw with your top paw. And then you got to grab your other paw. So you got to use your paws. And then you're going to see, can I take my legs out and balance? You might have to keep your knees bent because some bears have longer hamstrings than others. Sometimes bears fall over when they do this. I don't know why they do this, but they seem like they like it. So there's the bear pose. Oh. Now, what other kinds of animals might we see at the zoo? I bet you we would see a lizard. Do you think we could see a lizard at the zoo? Maybe. So if we were a lizard, we would have to get ourselves positioned on a rock. So we'll bring one leg forward and then we're going to sit down on the rock. Now, maybe we just put our hands down. Maybe we can put our elbows down. And we can imagine ourselves sunning on a rock. Lizards love to get sun. It helps warm their skin up because they are not as warm as other animals. And so sometimes the lizard might need to get a little bit over here to get into the sunlight a little more. Or maybe the lizard needs to go a little bit over here to get to the sunlight. Oh. And then we can turn our lizard into a monkey pose, which is almost like the splits, because monkeys jump from tree to tree. And so we make our legs really long apart so we can jump from one tree to another. Let's try that on the other side. So I'm going to take this knee down and turn around and take this knee up. And then I'm in a lizard on my other side. Now, if you can't see, you can just switch legs. And so I can take my lizard forward more or backward a little bit more. I can walk my lizard a little more into the sunshine over here or come a little bit more towards this side of the sunshine. How does that feel? Does your hip feel nice when you're a lizard? Mine does. And then we're going to back ourselves up and become a monkey again. So our legs are really wide apart and we can jump from one tree to the other. And take a big breath in your monkey pose. And then you can take yourself back to both knees. And then I'm going to turn this way so it's easier to see. And then we can let ourselves become like a child pose. Now, why do they call this child's pose, do you think? You could call it rock pose if you wanted. Or seed pose. What do you think the best name is? Oh. And that's a nice pose to rest in, but if that one doesn't feel so good, you can take yourself onto your back and rest on your back instead and stretch out like a big starfish. Now, we may not see starfish at the zoo. We might have to go to the aquarium or the beach to see a starfish, but maybe we would have seen that at our beach trip. If you're a starfish, do you feel relaxed? And then maybe if we went to an interesting museum that just had bugs. I don't know if that's a zoo or another kind of museum, but we could become a bug and do bug pose. I think this is a dead bug. Because I don't see very many bugs laying on their backs very often. But maybe. Sometimes beetles get flipped over. Maybe you feel like a beetle in this pose. So we're going to take ourselves back to our butterfly pose that we did at the very beginning. And then we're going to turn our butterfly into a dragonfly. So butterflies have wings that are a little more wide, and dragonflies have wings that are a little more long. So we're going to take our legs out like a dragonfly. And dragonflies have two sets of wings, so they have one set of wings up here and one set of wings down there. We're going to see if we can bring our sets of wings together. This may not work out. So maybe our wings just touch up here, and we can see how far forward our dragonfly will lean. Sometimes it helps to bend your dragonfly wings a little bit because you can get farther. There you go. Now you got it. Sometimes dragonflies can get all the way down and put their nose on the floor, but I'm not one of those dragonflies. Oh, there you go. Now you got it. Oh, we're going to stretch up nice and tall. We're going to give our body a moment to bring our knees in, and then we'll take a cross-legged sitting position, just an easy position. Well, it might not be that easy. We're going to take a nice big breath. We're going to let go with a really big ah. We're going to do that 2 more times. Nice big breath. Let go with an ah. Nice big breath. Let go with an ah. Did you know that when you make a sound with your vocal cords, it helps you relax? So try making a sound with your vocal cords. Go ah. And did it help you relax? Sometimes it does, because it makes the nervous system relax a little bit. So if you're ever feeling really anxious, you can try singing, or you can try just making a sound. Ah. It might help you relax. Namaste, yogis.